Howdy ho, y'all. This is 57 here, bringing y'all a Tampa Bay Mantine's draft review for UTL Season 7. Sorry, you guys, if you've been exclusively keeping up with my content, have missed out on at least a season or two of UTL stuff. I can assure you, all my league content's been about the same as it was. Mostly win, but I have very little postseason success. Maybe I'll release an update video on, you know, how things have been in leagues and that. But anyway, we have a new brand spanking new draft, ladies and gents. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the new members of the Tampa Bay Mantines. Starting with our first pick. We had pick number 13 or 14 of the draft. I don't even remember right now. We had a pretty late pick that we picked by design, so we get ourselves decent wheel. And so, first off, overall, very pleased this came to us. We picked basically best available, Zygarde 50. We did not have a strict plan to start out the draft. We had, so I just kind of looked at things, figured what I wanted to, decide what I wanted to use, and I hadn't tried this in the league properly before. So, this is the starting building block of our team. Solid mod with good overall stats, setup potential, the best if not, or one of the best moves in the game is in 1,000 Arrows, and just really great. The second pick, which I think is a pretty good value to come around in the second round, something I could argue as a first round pick, is Tapu Bulu. Living in that grass, ladies and gents, as always. Now that I look at it, Tapu does look like a bowl, like you'd smoke out of. It's pretty. I wonder if they did that by design. Because, adults making kids' games always sneak in little references. But anyway, this comes in the mentality that I have, something I espouse, which is drafting a threat and drafting the counter. Got a nice little visual pun to go along with that. But yeah, I think that's a good draft strategy to try to draft dangerous things and draft the best mons that could stop them. Third pick overall, we picked a Zelf. This may have been a bit of a reach, but I really wanted to try a Zelf. Being honest, I've always found myself using other psychic types because I'll have a real fondness for grabbing Mega Latias or Starmie or Mew, some other really high quality psychic. There's also these other psychic types I've wanted to use. Zelf is in that big old category, so I'm very excited. I think it fits well with my playstyle. I like base 115 speed mons. Love things that are kind of multi-tool that can run a lot of different ways. Yeah, it's a mixed attacker. It's got a lot of great qualities that I really like in a mon. So we got a Zelf as the third member of our team. Look pretty solid right now. Nothing's really jumping out as a common weakness. So yeah, with our fourth pick, I'm going to confess to something with this fourth overall pick. Now, Halucha is a pretty standard mon for us, and but I wasn't super feeling it this season. I'm out another fighting type that I'm gonna get to later. That I really wanted to try out, so I wasn't super set on it. But Bulu Lucha always goes well, and I wasn't hurting at this. But I was informed by somebody that I'm not going to disclose that Derp was seeking out Halucha to pair with his Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele? No, he has Tapu Koko. Hispanic has Tapu Lele. Derp has Tapu Koko. Derp has Tapu Koko, and I didn't want him to get that. So the primary motivation for me drafting Enrique Fabulous, my Halucha this season, was basically for the purpose of Derp not having it. I expressly sniped Derp. For that, I am sorry. I will play you a solo on the world's smallest violin in my next video, derp. I do not have it on hand right now, I'm afraid. But yeah, you ask, why is there a picture of Alberto Del Rio? Well, my viewers, that's just because I love the story of why his name's Enrique Fabulous. And Alberto Del Rio, WWE fighter, is essential to understanding this. Me and my sophomore year roommate I guess, kind of enjoyed watching wrestling with a bit of poking fun at it in mind. I'm not one of them wrestling heads. I don't like talk about kayfabe and like the art of it and all that kind of stuff. But it's fun. It's goofy. And so we came up and like we didn't know his name because we like jumped in mid broadcast. It was Alberto Del Rio, which we found out later. But like we were describing like the events going on, and we used the name Enrique Fabulous to refer to Alberto Del Rio, and that stuck. And I love the heck out of that name. And Enrique Fabulous just makes me think of good times I had with my college roommate. So shout out to him. So yeah, going with our fifth pick in the draft. We want to counteract our growing vulnerabilities to psychic types, to ice types, and to flying types. And with that, we grab Doublade. This is another mon that I wanted to try for a long time. It's got a lot of qualities I like in a mon. A great bulk with the Violite is a potential Pursuit Trapper, and it has a really great shiny. And for that, it is going to be named Zerok. If you do not know that reference, this is a reference to Aragon Sword and Aragon, later picked up by, later used by Murtagh. I don't know if I should give spoilers out because I don't know if you've read it. It's not like super worth it if you're like not like actually a teenager, because it's kind of got a pretty simplistic prose to it, and I can't even get through like the last book because I don't know, I'm just really beyond young adult fiction. But I do have really fond memories of Aragon and that kind of stuff. Murtagh winds up using the sword later in the book Eldest, the second book of the series. Yeah. Aragon comes as recommend if you like a young adult fiction. If not, it's probably not for you. It basically like takes the spot from Star Wars for most of the series. So if you know how that goes down, you'll know how a lot of how the book goes down. And there's some deviations from it. I feel like I could have a video talking about Aragon. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see me talk about Aragon in a future video. But yeah, Doublade, gonna be named Zarok, for the red blade that Braum, then Aragon, then Murtagh wields in the book series Aragon. So, the aforementioned fire type mon we were looking forward to grabbing was Toxicroak, something I've had my eye on for a long time, but have often been dissuaded from getting for like it just doesn't fit a lot of drafts. I'll often have other poison types or other fighting types that I have in mind and that I want to draft. Fighting isn't too bad of a type to double up on, not too bad of a type to spam. And we grab Doublade to make sure that a psychic weakness isn't too egregious. We have a Zelf as like a softer psychic counter. So check. I should use terminology, otherwise you know better than Burles. Sorry guys. Use appropriate terminology. But yeah, it doesn't help our common weaknesses, but it does give us like a nice water immunity, which is always appreciated. And Toxicroak's a really neat mod. It has near perfect coverage in its 2 stabs plus the dark type moves it gets. So like 3 move coverage that hits just about everything you want it to. It's pretty excellent. And it's something I have like not a lot of ideas on what I want to do in terms of trying it. So we'll see how great the execution of it goes. Really hope it goes well. Looking forward to it, guys. Next up, we have Tyrantrum. We wanted another bird resist. I wanted a dragon type. I was on the fence about getting Tyrantrum or Umbreon as my other tier 3 mon. because I needed either a dark type or a dragon type, and I wanted to look at what I could get in lower tiers. Saw something that I was fine getting as dark and lower tiers, so we got this because the dragon types in tier 5 weren't really satisfying based on what I had planned. But yeah, nice. It covers rock type, dragon type. Get stealth rocks, get power. I don't use this much. I was like when XY first came out, I was pretty. A lot of people love this mon because T-Rex, and that's like a really obvious, like, cool guy thing to love. But I don't tend to like things that are like seem to be trying too hard to me. Um, I don't hate it, but it is something that as a result I haven't really got to use that much. So I want to kind of play around with this season, even though I'm not the biggest fan of its design. But I mean, like, it's not even really a proper T-Rex. Like, it's more like the friggin' like the genetically engineered dinosaur in Jurassic World is what it looks like, more than an actual T-Rex. Indominus Rex, that's what it's called. Sorry, I had to think of that for a second, guys. I'll try not to let you down. You guys deserve better. Alright, next up, we grabbed our Mega. This is pick around 8? 8, I think. Mega Blastoise. Here we see him in his native environment, taking on Mega Man. Just a fine-ass specimen. Really great Mega, really great value. Being tier 2 allows me to make a lot of the draft choices I made, get me points back, and also needed a rapid spinner. I will freak out if I have a draft that is without a rapid spinner nowadays. I think I've had one, and that was like WNBA season 1. That may be the only draft I had without a rapid spinner, but I had like 2 quality defoggers, like in Scizor and Zapdos. I don't like relying on defog that much. I'm okay with it now because there's more stuff, like there's forges and the rotoms and that kind of stuff that'll defog pretty nicely. But I really, really, really just like having a rapid spinner and having a good one. And there's like basically like 6 or 7 like actual quality rapid spinners that I like using. So that could be a bit limiting on my drafts, but thankfully Blastoise isn't enough of a change of Mega Blastoise is enough of a change of pace. I've had regular drafts, but haven't had Mega in drafts. I used it in UU before, and I like it a lot. Now I get to kind of explore a lot of its options I might not get to. Of course, I get to do Zesty, Refresh, and Setup, and all sorts of whatever Blastoise sets I want to run. Maybe I'll run Physical Mega Blastoise. Who knows? The sky's the limit, ladies and gents. Let me know in the comments what set you want me to see me run on Mega Blastoise. That'd be fun. And I gotta get some trash talk in. I'm gonna go at my division rivals with these picks. So here is AJ's Victini. He's gonna get murked by the wave of my Mega Blastoise here. So you better watch yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, AJ. Because I mean, like, you beat me a lot, but like I beat you more than most people do. So yeah. I'll be a cocky cunt here. Fuck yeah. Alright, our next pick. 9? 9. 9? Maybe it's no, it's 9. It is Lipard. And pretty great. This is the dark type that I want to get out of T5. That's pretty much the best value. It helps my speed tiers to this point, which are a bit uneven. So yeah, it gives us a nice little intermediate. Eases up the speed tier gap between like Toxicroak and the Zelf. It's still pretty big, but we got it. I could use this as a kind of a mixed attacker, as a utility mon. That part's got like some underrated like value. I could slap it on in a lot of situations. So very excited. I may be cheeky with it. I'll probably be cheeky with it. I'm not gonna lie. I like running cheeky ass stuff like that, guys. So I may be scummy. I'm trying not to be too scummy, guys. but like some encore shenanigans are forthcoming. So yeah, Bodypart, the Tampa Bay Mantine's 9th pick in the draft, in our first tier 5. So our next pick, Togetic, here seen hatching from his eggs like a motherfucking cutie pie. Look at how cute it is, how much it loves life. Now look at all the leaf storms it's taking Bennett. See, he's not even bothered by it, just like I'm not bothered by you. So Bennett, you better watch yourself because nothing you do can phase me. You can't stop me. I'm gonna 6-0 you. And it's all because of Togetic. Uh, Longtime member of the Tampa Bay Mantines, a cheap fairy, something I always endorse. Good stuff, guys. Next we have Typhlosion. I put my reference in the picture. He's here leading the Fire Nation. Typhlosion's name on the season is going to be Isa though, because that was the name of the first Cyndaquil I had in Pokemon Crystal, the first Pokemon game I properly played. Why Isa? I don't know. I thought it sounded cool because I was in friggin' like 2nd or 3rd or whatever grade. So yeah, Isa, throwback. This is my favorite Pokemon of all time. This is the first time I've gotten to draft it. It actually fits the number of needs on my team. It gives me a base 100, evens out the speed tiers right to the point where I want them. We have good stratification, so my opponent shouldn't be able to run too many cheeky speed creeps. Yeah, so that's limiting enough, and got myself a fire type, which is like another comfort thing that I like to have. And I think you'll see we're going to use Typhlosion to take down Obi. As you can see, his Celesteela here getting fucking wrecked. And finally, with the last pick in the draft, actually a steal at pick 12, which I should mention, we did make slight but meaningful changes to the draft format in that we added on an extra tier 5 slot to the UTL drafting format. And for this extra 5 slot, I grabbed Rotom Freezy Pop, as is traditionally known here. And as you can see, it has extendable glass shelves, it's comfortable and well arranged. So how can I argue with that? All for a tier 5. So yeah, what I say the overall grade is, yeah, I put it here. But if I'm going to break it down and analyze it, I think I did manage to avoid too many common weaknesses. I use a lot of low tier mons to patch up holes in potential ice or rock weaknesses. So I don't think there's too much of an issue with that. I do not have having Toxicroak as my poison type means I don't have toxic spikes, which I find a bit just a touch problematic. I really love stacking hazards. I'm a little less hazard stacky this season. I got a few rockers and I don't know, I need some cheeky magic coat or copycat shenanigans to get like alternative hazards in there, like spikes, sticky webs, anything like that. So that's something I think maybe I was lacking in this draft. I'm pretty happy about this. It has a couple familiar things, but it has a lot of unique things I'm getting to try for the first time. It has been pointed out that my draft does skew a bit more physical attack heavy, especially on my higher end picks, and on things I am likely to bring on a consistent basis, which is fair. But I think I have a good number of special ball breakers, Mega Blastoise, and Typhlosion should be able to wreck shit, so that should be good. Yeah. It's not a perfect draft. Nothing's ever a perfect draft. But yeah. Um I'm trying to think if there's anything I could say about it as a whole. Mm. Oh yeah. Other thing is that I'm not happy with the speed tiers. Like it caps out at 115. No, it caps out at 118 with Halucha. And often that's going to be under terrain, so that won't be too bad of an issue. But I do generally like having something that's a 120 or higher as like a normal speed tier, because that's just really handy to have as something to have as a blistering fastmon, having a Tornadus Therian, having an Aerodactyl, having a Mega Alakazam, Excelgor, anything of that nature is generally helpful to have to just kind of blow the top off of your opponent's competition, to have something as a panic mode, hyper offense type mon to run. I don't have that this season. I'll have to run some Scarfers or some or setup, or I'll have to run some bulky rotations. So I guess that's a potential pitfall I have in this draft. Lack of hazards, lack of top level speed tier, and maybe reliance on certain low tier mons. But that would be like what I'd say is the three flaws of this draft. Otherwise, very, very, very happy. This is probably upper middle of the pack of as far as all drafts I've had, and I've loved most of the drafts I've ever had. So that is how I would assess this UTL season 7 draft. Hoping for another good season. I think we'll have a lot of fun, get a good number of wins. Good stuff, guys. I think I'm losing my voice a little bit talking this much. I would just like to remind you at the end of the video to once again, please try to gain some submissions for Mr. T Comics. I would really appreciate them. They would really make me happy. And Mr. T would like it if you pity some fools, drink some milk, and don't be a sucker. Got it, guys? I like you just for being you, guys. So, without further ado, this is 57 signing off.